That sounded bad.
So.
Amen. Did you hear that comment?
What?
What did you just say?
I think it smells like cotton candy.
It's
I
Tyler.
don't like cotton candy.
It's Tyler today.
Like,
You want 10-7?
I really
Tim.
don't like it. I really
In the
don't.
basket.
I bet.
It
Do I
smells like cotton
do?
candy.
How do I smell cotton candy?
I don't know. It's great.
a scent in your truck?
I
No.
don't smell it.
Not if you get milk truck. I didn't smell it when I got super close, but when you get like.
All right, let's talk. Let's talk.
Is it you?
I probably don't need to stand there.
Hey.
All right, listen, guys. 10-1. Minor arcs, major arcs, semicircles. Are we good with what all those are?
Yes.
Minor arcs less than 180, semicircles 180, major arcs more. Naming a minor arc, how many points does it take to name a minor arc? 2. Okay, so if we have a point, a circle, look at that. She's so proud. Look at that.
Did you draw that?
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even get
Do we have to
pictures of
take
notes
notes
earlier.
if we can just watch it?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. All right, so if we were naming TR, minor arc, right?
Yeah.
What about TZR, major arc? Okay. I think that's all we have on that stuff. Okay, so if we had an angle that was here, and I told you that this was 110 degrees, what is the length of this arc? It's what? 110. Okay, so if,
Yeah.
What's the case if it's like
When it's half,
That.
Ooh.
it's like that.
you see the difference?
Yes.
Okay, so we know this is 110 degrees. If this is 110, this would be
55.
55. Okay, that's the major difference on those. What is this angle called?
Central.
A central angle. All right. I feel like that's
Wouldn't the other one be an inscribed angle?
oh yeah.
that is it for 10-1.
Half
10 days
pizza.
ago.
If I were to ask you to name 2 adjacent arcs, what does the word adjacent mean?
Next to.
Next to. So if I were asking you for 2 adjacent arcs, we could say RZ, ZT.
Yes.
Okay. When you name an arc, make sure that you're here.
If you write 9,
Go.
that's wrong.
Okay? All right. Chapter 10. Anything else? Are you good? What are you doing?
This is my job and someone made it, so I'm ready to do it.
First part of the day does it. Like first hour.
I did it.
And somebody changed it?
It's my job and someone changed it. I wasn't including today, so they changed it back to
Gotcha.
10.
All right.
Let something get this.
Are circles similar?
Yes.
Yes.
All circles are similar, right?
Yes.
What are the circles called that are inside of each other?
Circumscribed.
Concentric circles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounded weird. You got me all messed up.
I meant to say circumscribed.
What do they share? Concentric circles share what?
A
A center point.
A center point.
Centroid.
Ooh, we also need to talk about.
Wouldn't that be a centroid?
Also need to talk about. What kind of line is this?
Tangent.
Tangent line. What kind of line is this?
Secant.
A secant line. What kind of line is
Chord.
this?
The chord.
What kind of line is?
Diameter.
Is it also a chord?
Yes.
Okay.
Radius.
Yep. And the other thing would be radius. So if this is the center, or from here to here.
Radius.
I'm gonna move up closer. Sure.
Yes.
It's fine. You can see over him. He's fine. Okay, circles that have common tangent lines internal tangent lines do those circles share?
4, yeah.
Not 4. I was only thinking 2.
Yeah, I was only
So we're
thinking two.
here and here. What kind of tangent lines are those? Internal or external?
Internal.
External. And then it also would share.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Internal. I missed.
It's
I missed
all
pretty
good.
good.
Remember
Alright.
who else said that? She said.
Oh, there we go.
Internal. Still kind of missed. So there's 4. 2 external, 2 internal.
Yeah.
All right. What if the circles look like this?
They sure one.
1 here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Internal, external.
External.
External. Are there any internal?
No.
Okay. What if they like overlap?
There's two.
2.
One on top and one on the bottom.
Yep. And they are external, internal.
External.
Oh, I'm missing bad. They need to touch both circles. Okay. 2 external. Okay, if we have a circle, let's call this distance
7.
6.
x.
Oh.
Or
Call it
R.
x.
Pick up R too.
Let's do a
Or
tangent line here
She should do a YouTube video.
or here. It's on YouTube right now. They can hear you all over the place, kiddo. That's why people keep looking at you. Like, shush. Alright. X. Radius is x.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is also the radius is x.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's call this
7.
7, and let's call this
6.
14.
14. Yeah.
12.
We'll go.
12.
8. 9.
man.
What are
Okay.
you doing?
12.
Sure.
Okay, sure. Cool.
Alright, here we go. How do we solve this? We have a right triangle happening here, right? With this
Yes.
tangent line.
X squared plus 12 squared equals 7. X plus 7 squared.
Okay, yeah. That was so convoluted right there.
Yep, that's it. Alright, so make sure that the thing you equal it to is your hypotenuse. This side length has x and 7, so you're adding those together. We would then have to FOIL that, so we would have x squared plus 14x plus 49 on this side. This side we have x squared plus 144.
Yeah.
Okay? Our x squareds are going to cancel.
Yep.
We're gonna get, let's subtract our 49 here and here.
95.
So I have 95 equals 14x.
Ooh, that'd be awful.
Divide by 14 is not gonna be a pretty number.
But it's a number.
It is a number. I don't know what it is, but it is a number. That's how you solve for x.
Cows
Okay.
on it.
Come on.
What is it?
Wait. hold on.
6.7857.
Yeah.
6.78. We'll stop there.
Okay.
Hold on. Don't erase it just yet.
Okay?
Where are these two?
Man, I
A
love.
squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Yes, we did the
Okay.
Pythagorean
I
because
was
it was a
like,
right
wait.
triangle,
What?
but the distance from the center to the outside of the circle, or the radius, is x, and they give it to us in different amounts.
Yeah.
Does that number make sense? 6 less than 7,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it makes sense. This would be 14-ish. Yep, okay. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh my gosh, I hate mine so much.
Another circle. If we have a circle with a center, and we have 2 tangent lines,
Oh. Okay.
and I don't know, let's make up something here. 2x
Plus 5.
5. And what's the other side gonna equal? Let's do it.
4x.
4x.
Let's not deal with a variable. Let's just do a number.
18.
18. Okay, I heard 18 first. Alright, because those two lines are tangent, they're going to be congruent, right? Because they're meeting at a point outside of the circle. So these are going to be congruent. So when we set these up, we set them up to equal each other. Solve for x.
And this gonna be an
6.5.
ugly number.
Yeah.
This one's also going to be an ugly number.
It's not that ugly.
No.
It's
It's
not
pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's not a whole number.
But it's still pretty good.
6.5.
Yeah.
You should've-
I like my decimals to the 10th power.
Okay?
Let's go to the 10th.
Not 10th power.
To the 10th
10th.
place.
Are we
Place,
gonna have a note card so we can write down those three,
I don't know, let's go
No.
through it and see.
I say
like the-
no.
Where we are, maybe.
equations?
Alright, so that's 10-1. I kinda skipped that earlier. 10-2.
Yeah.
10-2 I've already done. We did 10-1 and 10-2 together. 10-3 was using chords. Alright, so we do have some things we need to know here.
Oh, that's actually pretty nice.
Alright, so if we have this guy, and then say we have, and you know it's 90 degrees.
Oh, it's being bisected.
Would that be a perpendicular bisector to the radius?
To
No, it would bisect that chord.
Yeah, bisects it.
right.
The diameter does.
2x plus 3.
If we know, I'm trying to say what information you would have.
What do we
What
like?
if we had information here, and we had 3x minus 6, and we have 4x plus 1.
Those are the two parts of the chord, right?
Those are
The parts of the
here
Oh, okay.
and here. And then let's say we had one piece of information here. What are we, 22?
22? Yeah, sure.
22.
So 22 and the blank one would have to be congruent
Can we make
with
it
the same thing
Yeah.
as those.
We know this information. What? That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Alright, so if we have those three pieces of information, how do we set up a problem to solve for x? What is congruent to each other, and how do you multiply it together?
4x plus 1 equals 3x plus, or 3x minus 6. And then 22 equals,
If one chord of a circle is a perpendicular bisector of another chord, then the first chord is the diameter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If
Okay, so
okay, is this diameter bisecting this arc?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, if it's bisecting it, then what do I know about these two pieces?
They're
so
They're
x,
congruent, so I can set them up to equal each other.
x equals -7.
-7. X equals -7. Okay, so you could be asked this question. What if you were asked the measure of the arc KW? How do I find that?
22,
This measure of the arc. I would substitute in this information.
4x, or 4 times -7 plus 1, plus 3 times -7 minus 6. And what you said, no, I think you hesitate. I was like, oh no.
That's a really bad problem that I made up.
And that will give you like a negative.
It should be a positive. The distance is going to be a positive, so there's that.
We're in the imaginary realm.
We needed this to be positive. And
So
positive
you have to
answer.
add like 8.
switch
Right.
around the 4x and the
If-
3x.
We're not gonna change anything, but normally when you add or all of these together, you'll get a positive value.
Let's get these buckets.
Okay. If you were asked, let's do a circle.
Did you do screen recording for smart words now?
Really? You can, I bet it has to be in Smart Notebook.
How would you need it?
Like we're not in. You could do it instead of doing.
Because then if Miss Warren's writing something and then you see what's behind her arm, this screen recording there would be arm would be
Okay, what do we know about
different.
Yeah, they can do it.
the congruent? So if we had values there, we would know those. If you were given the measurement. Okay, yeah, so if you were given measurements, we would be able to set those to equal each other. What if we had measurements here?
5.
Would those equal each other as well?
Yeah.
Those would equal each other as well. I feel like we need to work one like that.
Really?
I
Wait.
feel like we're probably good on that. These are going to be congruent to each other
Yeah.
if they're perpendicular,
And we have.
as well as these are going to be congruent to each other.
Okay.
All right, let's look at 10-4.
Oh, Jesus. Damn it. Why did you make me do that?
What kind of angle? An inscribed angle. And what did we say when it was from the center?
It's
Central.
center.
Central angle. So
Central.
inscribed angles, central angles. What is the name of this arc?
The minor arc.
It is.
Minor
BC.
It is a minor arc BC. But if this is an inscribed angle, that is the intercepted arc. Okay, that's what that is called.
Intercepted.
Intercepted arc. And
So is the angle BAC like it? Is the angle A only half of BC whenever the point lies in the middle of it,
No, right
center
now,
of the circle?
angle
No.
BAC would be half of minor
let's say
arc
that this
BC.
is, let's give this a value. Let's give this 60. Okay?
So A would be.
Okay, so that's not in the center, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is 60. What? This one is 30, you guys said. What is
Yeah.
the angle here?
30.
30. Okay, as long as it's, our arc is the same, intercepted arc, our measurements for our inscribed angles will be congruent, no matter where they are. I mean, this could be like really funky and be right here, and it's still 30. Okay? Alright.
Can you turn on
The what? Ooh, Coach Thrash will get us if we do that.
Makes you subscribe to Brody. I think we'll get into this by whispering.
Okay, what is it called when we have
Oh, that's inscribed polygon.
an inscribed polygon? It should stay inside. It should be an inscribed polygon. If I were to ask you, if I told you that was a regular polygon, so we're going to assume that these are all congruent,
Yeah.
okay?
Oh, wow.
Not drawn to scale. So that means all of these are congruent, right?
Yeah.
If it's a regular polygon.
Yep.
How would you find the measurement of one of the angles?
5 minus?
What is the measurement of a whole circle?
360. So
360, and how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
yeah, 5 minus 2 times 180.
360 divided by 5.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Which is what?
A number.
72.
Yeah, 72.
72. So these are all 72 degrees. Okay. So what if it was an octagon?
360 divided by 8,
Divided by 8. Okay, if that's what's inscribed inside
and so on.
of your circle. Right. Okay, so if this is a regular polygon, what would I know about this arc length and this arc length?
They're congruent.
They would be congruent. Okay. What would I know about?
But then, would not all the arc lengths be congruent?
That's a major arc.
That's a major arc. What is measurement of that arc.
Would it be double of 72?
It would, but that seems like a really large.
It would be, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
72 times 2 because of
Wouldn't it just be 144?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
that seems
guess
like a very large portion of the circle to just be 144.
Well, to be fair, it's not drawn to scale.
It is not drawn to scale at all. You're right, because this is way over 90.
Yeah.
All right, not drawn to scale. This length would be 144. What if we had a quadrilateral? We did some questions like that.
Opposite angle's gotta be 180.
yeah, it's supplementary.
Supplementary, yeah, thank you.
Okay, so quadrilateral just means that there are 4 sides. Okay, so we're saying that these 2 angles are supplementary, which means that they equal what together?
180.
180. All 3 would equal, 4.
360.
360. So if you were given, let's do a measurement here, like 124,
Yeah.
could you find x?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, x would equal what?
56.
Yeah.
56, because these 2 together have to equal 180.
Yes.
Okay, so then if you had other measurements or unknowns, you would go from this point and find these 2. Alright, let's go to 10.5. Angle relationships in circles.
There's 7 lessons, right?
7 lessons.
Yeah.
7 lessons, yes.
I hope this shows up in the subtitles. Shows up as music.
I'm not really sure why it showed up as music last time, but whatever.
Oh man, these things.
What do we want this measurement to be?
4,
72.
8.
55.
Let's
Well,
have 8.
tiny number.
55.
8. 8 would be good.
37.
32.
36 it is.
Okay.
Oh god.
36 it is.
You want the other one to be 48?
9 and 3x plus
Or
9.
53.
3x plus 9.
Ah.
Where out here?
Why?
Oh, is that what you're trying to
Yeah,
find?
I was like, what are you doing? What's this angle measurement?
30x
59.
plus 90.
That is not even close.
108.
Yeah.
We'll go with
108.
108.
Wow, that is huge.
Alright. What do we know about these? We can't say that we know this measurement because it's not coming from the center, so it's not 36, right? It's not all the way on the other side, so it's not 18. What can we do here? How
We
can
know
we?
that there's vertical angles, but
We know there's vertical angles, so we know that this is x as well. Okay.
So x equals x. They're supplementary, shouldn't they be?
wait.
No.
X equals x. It's vertical angles.
Yeah.
How do we solve this problem?
Is there something to do with multiplication?
No, it's the.
Okay, I'm still
Okay,
there.
144
do we
does,
remember?
but-
It's 1/2 of
Is-
these 2 arc measurements together. So x equals 1/2 108
plus 36.
plus 36.
Oh yeah, okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
140.
Okay. 144 and half, so 72.
See, I did
What
good
is
with
your
my
obsession with
numbers.
72?
I don't know. I didn't even mean to do that
I
one.
did good with the number.
My brothers were born in 1972. I don't know. All right.
You have twin brothers?
I do.
I always forget
That would
that.
be fun.
When she says brothers, I'm like, what?
Okay, let's look at
Circle.
a circle. Let's look at having a tangent line and a secant line. That's a tangent line.
Oh wait,
Okay.
so hold on.
That's a secant line.
I gotta get fire.
In
Let's say
reality,
that
they're
we
both
know-
secants.
In reality, they are.
But in reality, they're not. Imagination times there.
Let's say that this is 208
Okay.
and that we don't know this arc measurement, but we know this angle, and like I said, this is a tangent line. We're gonna make it
Okay,
tangent.
so what angle? What's the name of the angle?
So
And what do we wanna make this equal?
3x plus the.
Why do you want to do
42.
variables?
Why
Yeah.
are you wanting to do variables? So we're here. We can, we'll put a K for Kirsten, she wants a letter with it.
208
I know what a
minus
letter would be. That's
42
Madison
divided.
knows
No.
what it
I thought you asked what the angle was.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Okay, K for Kirsten.
208 minus x times 1/2 equals 42.
Alright, so same equation, right? Let's not say we did. No.
So 1/2 of 208 minus
Against
x.
yourself. Do what?
1/2 of 208 minus x.
Yes, so 208, so we're doing our larger arc length, minus our smaller one,
okay,
times 1/2 equals
42.
our angle measurement,
Okay.
okay?
Mm.
Alright, so we have 42 equals 54 minus 1/2 x. Or you could have divided by 1/2 first.
I would've
Is that how we were doing it? We were doing it like that
Yeah.
the other day.
So
Okay, so we're gonna divide it
84.
by 84 equals 208 minus x. Gonna get a negative number again.
I don't
No,
know
we
what
won't.
I've been doing.
No,
we
we're
won't.
good. We're
We
good.
won't. So what does this give us? 84 minus 208,
And
Negative
$124.
124, so x equals 124.
yay. Pretty good.
Yes ma'am.
Have you converted to like that left column to over there? Did you multiply by 1/2 or multiply by 2?
Here, we divided by 1/2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is basically just multiplying by 2.
Which is multiplied by 2, yes.
Okay, so when you if you distribute,
Sure.
it would be half of 208.
Yeah, we can do it that way.
Okay,
104.
'cause
Oh, I put 54, didn't I?
Yeah, 54.
I put 54. My
That's right.
math was bad.
Yeah. Well,
I think I did my homework wrong.
Okay. We can look at it.
Like, I don't know what I did.
Okay, one other kind of question, if we had a circle with a tangent line here, and you knew that, let's say we knew what this angle was, that it's 56.
okay. Wouldn't that be the same angle from that chord to the tangent line?
So again, yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
So what would this measurement be?
180 minus 56.
180 minus 56.
124.
If you were to find the arc length here, what would we have?
It would be
Would it be double
62.
124, or would it? Because if you think about it, it could be like the other side.
oh no, it would be 248.
Would you double that 124? I feel like that's what you would do, but I'm not sure.
Yes. Yes, and we would double, so we would have 112 for here.
Then two.
The rest of that would be 360 minus 112, if that's what you figured first. Okay?
Yeah.
Alright, here's a question like that. Alright, let's see what else we have.
Could you look into the camera and say subscribe to Plenary Math?
Do not do that.
Yourself. No, because that will be cut out
How much subs
and
do
shared somewhere. Excuse me? What'd you say?
you have? So how much
She's
subs
8.
you have?
Yeah, it's single digits.
Let's
It's
see.
like
Subscribe to
fantastic.
I'll give you some clap.
Smash
Yeah,
that
give
like
him
button.
clap. We gotta go double digits.
Subscribe to where you're
Just
at.
make it to where nobody can leave your classroom until they subscribe.
That's up to you guys whether or not you're studying.
They hit 12.
Shout out
I
to channel.
subscribe.
Oh, it's 12. It's double digits at this point.
Yeah.
Alright, so if we have a circle, we're on 10-6 at this point.
10-6.
10-6. Let's say that this is 6 and this is 14.
Oh, yeah.
So the chord is 20.
No, you do 6. Isn't it? Yeah.
X and
And
6 times 14
12,
times whatever
yeah,
number you
12.
have there.
12.
Yeah.
We can do 12. Alright, so our red chord is 12 and, or 14 and 6. So we would do we add them? Do we
No, we-
multiply them?
Multiply.
We multiply them.
yeah.
Okay, 6 times 14 equals
12 times.
x times 12, or 12 times x.
Yeah.
So,
Why do I do
84.
numbers that are hard? How many?
84.
84, yeah.
84 equals 72.
What's
That is
72?
a 12. Yes.
I
I
was
saw
like,
a 72. I'm obsessed with 72 today. It's not. It's a 12.
Seven.
It's a 12.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
don't know, it's a good number though.
X equals 7. If you were asked the measurement of KW,
Wait a minute. Are you sure I did the math right? Because if you figure that, that does not equal 20. That would equal 19.
you
No, it's
are
just-
multiplying, not adding.
Yeah.
They don't
They're not congruent.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not congruent. Okay, but if you were asked to find the measurement of KW, you just said it was 19, right? So make sure you look at what the question's asking. Is it asking for X? Is it asking for KW? Or is it asking for both?
Please don't do
I'd
that
get
again.
KW equaling 19.
We got X equaling 7.
Yeah.
12 plus 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some clout. Like and subscribe.
Smash that like button, hot man.
Tell your friends.
All your friends.
Tell my friends.
If
I
that
had
hasn't been
any.
like perfect today.
I know, they're on point.
Like your tangent line go down.
like.
Oh, that's actually really good.
Okay, let's do 2. I'm gonna mess it up with my secant lines.
No, it's fine.
Let's do 2 secant lines.
That's not bad.
Oh.
Because you don't have to go to the
okay,
edge of the
I'm
circle
gonna
with us.
That's true. What measurement do we want this to be?
8,
3x
6.
plus 9.
That's
18, 18.
Wait, that one?
18. 18 it is. Let's say this one is 2x.
24.
2x. Let's say
One is
Oh,
3 and one
that's
is 4.
Isn't
this is
that
x.
looks like gonna be
And then let's give this an actual measurement. What do you want to do? 3?
9.
4.
yeah? 3. So it'd be like 3 times 3 plus 18.
Yes.
Yes.
And then x.
No, it's gonna
Times
be
2x
2x
plus
times x, 3 times equals 3
No,
times
you
18.
do the
Yeah.
outside.
We do the small portion times the whole thing. Right?
Yeah.
No, it says EA times EB, so EA is the small portion.
Look.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, right. Sorry.
Okay. I was like,
Where
maybe I'm
you
wrong.
at?
Okay, so we're going to do x times
2x.
x plus 2x.
Yeah.
And we're going to do equals 3 times
21.
3
Make
plus
me feel
18.
dumb.
Oh, sorry.
That's what I
I
said.
feel done times.
3 times 21, x squared plus 2x squared.
63.
We have 63 and 3x squared. Divide by 3. So our x squared equals 21. X equals
A number.
square root of 21, which is a number.
Yep.
Normally, would you plus or minus in front of your root?
4.6 by the way.
I'm gonna
Was
say
it
yeah.
Normally you
Yeah.
would. Why do we not use the negative when we're doing this?
Because
You can have
it's
a
actual
negative
distance.
It'd be a
Distance.
negative distance, and that's not a thing. Okay, what is this?
4.6.
4.6.
Very nice.
Okay, so it's the small outside portion times the whole thing equals the small outside portion times the whole thing. Okay.
When I go back and make this, I'm gonna have to like pause it and play it, and pause it and play it. So I have
That
time
was
to
really
catch up
good
with
again.
what your brain is doing that mine's not.
That's the beauty of the videos though. You can pause
Yeah. I can't just like, it's gonna freeze.
and you can go back.
I wonder if
Okay, maybe I can.
I hope that was caught in the video.
I'm sure it was.
I hope so.
What do you want to do?
Oh my god. That could
Alright.
screenshot it.
Freeze like
get the
this.
wellness wondering.
Do not do that.
So much
Have you guys seen
material.
the thing that's like hashtag face it and people run up against a wall or something?
Oh, that's
I've done that
It's
on
never
purpose.
edited.
Before screen door.
Two
Alright, what do we have here?
times.
Four screen door. So previously we had two
Secant,
secant lines. Now we have a
tangent.
secant and a tangent. We set that up differently. This side we're going to set up the same. So we're going to do x times 5x plus x. The other
Wait
side,
a minute, where
you
is it?
square
Oh yeah.
the tangent part. So 4 squared. So we're here. I'm going to work it up here. So we have 5x squared
plus x squared
plus x squared equals 16, 6x squared equals 16, working just like we had previously, taking whatever that is, square rooting it, getting your answer. Your answers will be nice, clean numbers tomorrow.
This is 10-5.
That was 10-6. 10-7.
Ooh, the last one.
We have like 3 minutes.
The one that I need help on.
10-7. Alright, so circles. Anytime I see something that looks like this, what kind of function,
It's
what kind of equation do I have?
circle
I have a circle.
squared plus y squared.
equals r squared.
Equals r squared. Alright, so we could have 4 and our radius is what? If I had a 4 here.
2.
2, 9,
3,
3, 121,
11,
11, 144,
12,
12, 49,
7.
7. Alright, so this is our radius. Alright, so the thing that happens is, that's an H, it just didn't go all the way down. Alright, my center is at H, K.
Yeah.
Signs change when they're inside. Alright, so I'm just gonna write, this is our center. I'm just gonna write some equations. Let's think about where the center is.
0, 1,
0, 1, radius of
3,
3, radius of 3. Center. We're gonna leave the radius the same. Center,
0,
0, 0.
1,
Center.
10, 0.
10, 0. Are you guys good graphing these?
No.
No.
I feel like it.
Okay,
I'm barely
let's
good with this.
let's do this one. Let's do this one. If we graphed this equation,
So, right,
so it's been
10.
moved right 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my center is here. My radius is
3.
3.
So 1,
1, 2, 3.
On all
1, 2,
directions.
3. Here, 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 and here.
Yeah.
Here graphed.
Very nice.
Okay?
Okay,
What are
so
we
finding
uncomfortable
the
with?
radius,
How?
is it
How-
like square root?
It's the square root of the final number because this is our squared.
But
Okay.
since
Square root.
the radius is 3, how does that make a circle? I mean, I understand how it makes a circle, duh, but how does that make it that circle though? Because
From the
whole-
center, my radius is here.
Oh.
3 units.
Stupid brain.
So you're okay. Alright. That's really all we had with circles, right?
Yeah.
Also, I guess if we had a circle and I gave you the center and a point and it wasn't on the axis, then we had to find what that was. So if we needed to use the distance formula,
And also midpoints.
you're right. Okay, so using distance formula if you're given a center and an outside point, and also the midpoint. How would we find the midpoint if we had the 2 points, 3, 4, and 0, 2?
Put them there.
It'd be 3 minus 0.
If I said these are the ends of, hold on,
The diameter.
if these are the ends of a diameter and I needed to find my midpoint, which would also be my
3
center,
minus 0.
3 plus
No.
0
Or wait.
over
3
2.
plus 0 over 2,
And
9 plus
0.
4 squared.
4 plus 2 over 2.
Midpoint.
Oh,
These are your midpoint, which would give you the center of your circle.
3 halves and 3.
Okay, and then distance we would use one of these and this point.
Subscribe to Brody. We'll find the first.